Okay. Alrighty, so my name is Kate with Scotland Run Marketing. Today I'm going to be going over customizing your KW website with you. So we're going to go over some of the easier customization that you guys can do. Um, to kind of get started on really making some enhancements to your KW provided website. So the first thing that we want to do is we want to make sure we are logged into Command, okay? So I am logged into Command right here. Now, before we jump into our website and all of that, I just want to highlight where you can access your marketing profile. Um, we do cover the marketing profile in depth within our website setup class. However, just like to touch base on this because this profile does feed over all of your personal information on your KW site. So these details that populate, including your hyperlinks, all of these pull from that marketing profile. Your bio, your photo, all of that good stuff too is also going to pull from your marketing profile. So let's go ahead and jump into Command and take a look at that really quickly. Again, we'll just kind of view it really quickly just so you know where to get to it. For that though, you want to click on your name in the top right-hand corner of Command. And from there, you want to head into the settings. I know a lot of people like to click on my profile. That is actually a different profile, and they don't communicate to each other. So you want to head into settings. And once you're in settings, you want to take a look under Connect Settings in the left-hand menu, and you will find Marketing Profile. Now, again, this profile is the main profile that feeds over all of your personal details to your KW website. So it is super important to make sure this one is up to date, that it is, of course, turned on. So you'll want to make sure you have a green light, and anything with a red asterisk is completed. Okay, so photos, license information, your bio, phone numbers, market center details. If you have compliance required for your office, you can add that in these areas here. And then, of course, those social links that we were referring to, you can add those here as well. They do need to be the public-facing URL. So you'll want to view that probably on a desktop is the easiest way to grab those URLs. And then once you're done, you're just going to hit save. If you would like that to be gone over a little more in depth, we do again do that in our setup class, so you can check that out, and we will cover that fully. But let's go ahead and jump into our actual website. So from the Command home screen here, we want to navigate to our website applet, which is the icon on the very bottom left-hand menu bar. It will say websites. You can hit this red and white KW to expand that too. It'll show you the full menu bar over here. And again, we just want to head to that websites one. Now, once we are under our websites, you'll see that we have our subdomain here, our URL. We also have the ability to edit our agent site. We're going to go ahead and click into this really quickly. Now, these are very surface level edits that can be done here within Command itself. Again, we go over this section within the Command website setup class. So if you want to learn how to edit it here, you can check out that class. These customizations within this specific page are going to be very minimal, so there's not a ton that you can do. But this brings you into where you can access expert mode. Now that's where we're going to be jumping into today. Before I head into expert mode, I'm just going to close out of this though. Just want to show you guys you can get there from that button as well. We can also come to settings and hit edit my website. This is going to also take you into expert mode. So there's a couple of ways to get to the same place, okay? Before we click edit and go into that full website dashboard, a couple other things you can edit here within settings, your subdomain. You can find your app links, whether you're on a team or not. If you're not on a team, this won't appear, so you can just ignore that. You have some preferences with your site. So if you would like Keller Home Loans and Keller Covered to appear on your app and website, you can enable or disable those here. And then you can also disable or enable neighborhoods to appear on your KW site. Now, when we're referring to neighborhoods, we're talking about these little like blue lines. These are identifying different neighborhoods within this specific area that we're taking a look at. So if you'd like to turn those off, you just come and disable them. Now, lastly, on this, we have forced registration. If you would like viewers checking out your website to be forced to register and create an account, you can adjust that here. There is the ability for unrestricted. You can also set it to 10 properties, 2 properties, or 0 properties. Now, this is kind of situational. If they're viewing a property on your website from a different device, it may not register them. If they're in an incognito window, something like that, they may get more than those 2 properties or 10. It just kind of depends if they've viewed it on that same device, same browser, things like that. So just keep that in mind. But let's head into our website dashboard. So we want to go ahead and hit this Edit My Website button. Again, this will bring you into what KW is calling expert mode, or also the website kind of dashboard here. This allows you to make additional customizations to your website. Now, one thing we like to mention, make sure the URL right here that you're seeing is your personal website. If you are on a team or a member of Market Center leadership, you may have more than one website that can be accessed through this expert mode. To change the website you're on and making changes to, if this is incorrect, you click up here. It should say the team or name of the site you're editing, and you want to switch that. Now this looks like, sorry, we have a ton here. It looks like we're on a team when I'm trying to find Scott's. There's so many, it's hard to find. Oh, there we go, Scott Leroy. So again, it will say whatever site you're on up here, and if you need to switch it to a team or back to your personal, you can toggle back and forth. As you can see, we have a ton, so it gets a little bit chaotic. But again, you just want to make sure this URL is the site you are looking to make changes to. Otherwise, you want to switch that to whatever site you are looking to make changes to. All right, moving along. For today's class, some of the items we're going to get started with are going to mostly be in this quick start section here on the expert mode. So that makes it super easy for you guys to be able to come and find these. So we're going to start with a few of these different ones. Now, when it says quick start, these are going to be templates. So a lot of the work on these templates has already been done. Most of these pages, you can come in and simply hit publish and they will be added to your website. Now you can customize some items on them, so we're going to go over those. But these templates, again, created by KWI, and most of the work is done for you. The first one that we're going to take a look at, though, is going to be this last one. It says template, why work with KW? So we're going to go ahead and click that one right here. And that's going to open us. Anytime you're in a page like this where you're making edits, it will say in the top banner what page you are on or what item you're working on. So you can always refer to that. Now, as you can see, we have the page title. It is Why Keller Williams. You can customize that title if you'd like to change it. You can make it more specific to your market center or whatever you'd like. Any changes you make would just be added right here to the preview. It will update right away. As you can see, that little eye will spin and then it will update the changes. Now, this is the full preview. So when I said these are templates and most of the work is done for you, you could just come in and simply hit publish on this page and add it to your website. You do not have to make any modifications or changes to it, but you can if you'd like to. So we're going to go through a couple of those. Internal name, this is just for you to find that page within your dashboard. The description, you can of course add one here if you'd like to. It should update. Like I said, anytime that eye is spinning, it's refreshing those changes. Now for the page header, you can see we have that here. We could hide the title if we want to. That will remove that from the page. As you can see, it went away. We can also upload a file if we'd like to. We could choose a photo. So let's go ahead and choose. I think I had some KW ones down here. Maybe that we can grab. There we go. Let's try this one. So you can add a photo as your backdrop, kind of. It's similar to your hero images on your site. You can add a photo if you'd like to. Of course, you can always remove it if you added one and you decided you didn't like it. And then down below, we have our page content. So that's going to be the actual information here. If we click this little drop down, you'll see that we have some ability to make some changes to this as well. Why work with a Keller Williams agent? It's simple. If you'd like to change that, you can. If you'd like to make any changes to the text here, you can also do that. Maybe you don't like all of these spaces and you want to remove some of them because there's a lot of extra space. Maybe you want to get rid of some of that. Let's replace this information down here too with a photo. So I have one of those saved. If we want to insert a photo into this, we can just click this insert image. We can go ahead and grab that. I'm going to go find that photo really quick. We're going to go all the way down again. Here it is. There is my Y4C2Ts. We can go ahead and upload. Now, if you need to make some adjustments to this photo and how it appears on the site, you can kind of do that here. If you want to change the alignment, maybe you want it to be centered, full width, whatever you'd like, you can kind of play around with that. And that will add that photo into our thing over here. Now that's kind of big, so you may want to come back and adjust that in here. I think this will make it a little bit smaller. We'll see. There we go. So that looks a little bit more appropriate fitting in there. So you can, like I said, add photos if you'd like to. You can adjust any of this text, remove it, etc. Once you're done making changes to that text there, you can go ahead and close this section of the page contents. And then lastly, we have our contact form. Now these contact forms are pre-populated. On some pages, you can always add it. I do like to mention that the information being captured cannot be customized. You cannot change or modify that. With that being said, you also cannot modify the description or the disclaimers and things that are below there. So we do see some requests sometimes to make changes or add in verbiage. At this time, there's no way to edit those. If you're looking to add different verbiage, we do recommend adding that to like the legal footer of your KW site. And if you have questions on that at the end of class, I can kind of go back to that. Once we are done with this section here, though, if we're all done with this page, we're happy with it, we can go ahead and just hit that publish button. And it will populate to our website within about 30 minutes. That should automatically show up under the More section once it has been published, okay? Now, I'm not going to publish this page because we already have it on our site. Instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit this KW to go back to the main like expert mode page. It's going to let me know, say it changes aren't saved. All right, let me just take a quick look at the questions. Rob, I'll come back to your question. I just want to get some clarity on which tabs, so I will come back to that. Our next quick start page that we want to take a look at, you guys, we're going to jump into the mortgage calculator. So again, under our quick start section, template, HTML, mortgage calculator. That's going to be the next one. So we're going to click on that. Now this page is going to have a lot less for us to customize, okay? This page is already built. Again, all we have to do if we want to is come in and hit publish and it will be added to our website. You could change the title if you'd like to. You can change this information here. This will add like a header where you can add a photo and stuff again. As you can see, it's kind of repetitive, which is why it was turned off. But you can, of course, add that and add a photo if you'd like to. Now, the next section is the page contents again. So the information that is in this page. The mortgage calculator, there is really not much to edit here. We're not going to mess with any of this. And then it has the contact form again. So it's going to have both of those pieces of information. If you want to remove the contact form, you certainly can. You could go ahead and hit remove. If you do it by accident, you can add it back. But with this page, there's really not a ton to adjust, okay? So this one is pretty simple. Once we just reviewed it, made sure that we didn't want to change any titles or descriptions, we can go ahead and just hit publish on this one, okay? Again, I'm not going to hit publish. Once you do publish, it will let you know here. It will have a green banner letting you know that has been published. But I'm going to go ahead and hit the KW to go back again. And it's letting me know. We're not going to take a look at adjusting the home page today. But if we have time at the end, I may be able to take a look at that. We won't really be adjusting the home page today, though. That is in our setup class that kind of goes over the home page. Our next quick start page that we are going to take a look at, though, is going to be the download my app, okay? So template, download my app. We're going to go ahead and click that one. Then we'll give it just a second to load. And it should look very similar to this here, okay? So again, page title can always be changed. We can add the description if we'd like to. Again, the header is turned off on this one. If you wanted to turn it on, you can. Give it a second to catch up. So if you wanted it to say download my app, or if you wanted to say something else, you can change that verbiage. You can add the photo behind it if you wanted to as well. Again, I'm going to turn it back off. Not necessarily needed on this page. And then we're going to take a look at those contents. Again, if we click this drop down, there is absolutely nothing to edit here. Okay, so you cannot modify this page. I do want to point out, it says scan the QR code to download my app. This will generate once that page is published, okay? So if you're not seeing a QR code here, that is okay. Once you hit that publish button and this is added to your website, it should have that QR code. If you experience any issues with that, you can always reach out to our support team and we can take a look. Now with this page, since it is just the download my app, I am going to go ahead and add the contact form. I am a big believer in having that in as many places as you can, because it never hurts to have a place where they can reach out to you directly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit add module. And from there, I get to pick what I'm adding. And for this one, we're going to go all the way to the bottom. And from here, we're going to find the one that says form, okay? So we're going to go ahead and hit that. And then we need to pick what form we're talking about. Now, there is only one created. These two are going to be exactly the same. I'm not sure why two actually pop up, but I'm going to go ahead and hit default agent contact title. That's going to be the standard contact form that we've seen on all of the other pages, and it will just apply it to this page as well. Again, you do not have to do this. I just like to add it to everything, and also an easy way to show you guys how to add that. Now, once we're done with this page, again, we can go ahead and just hit that publish button, and that will get this page added to our website. Since I'm not publishing, again, we're going to hit back to the KW, and we're going to click that as well. And the next page we're going to take a look at, you guys, is our home valuation tool. So again, within our quick start area, it's going to be this one right here that says template home valuation. Click on that one. We'll give it just a second to load. Now this one, again, not a ton we're going to edit here. It's going to have a place where the consumer can type their address, and then it will let them know either an estimate of what the system can find for their home, or it's going to let them know we couldn't find enough information. We'll send your information over to the agent, and then you will get notified either way that someone has filled this out on your site. Those notifications will come through your command platform, so that you can reach out to that person. But again, if you want to add a header here, you can add that. Again, it's not there on this specific page, but you can add it. You could change it to say something else as well. If you want to add that photo behind it, that can be done. Or if you don't want it to say anything, but you do want to add a photo behind it, you could do that as well. So we'll just take a quick look at that. Let me just grab a random photo. A little tropical. Obviously not the photo necessarily that would work for here, but just wanted to show you guys. If you hit this hide title, but you want the photo at the top for some spacing, you can do that as well. So if you want the photo and no wording, you can hide title. We're going to go ahead and turn this back off though. Description can be added, of course, if you'd like. And then within this, there's not, again, much that you can change here. You can change the title and the description. That's exactly what it says here. So ready to discover your home value. You could change that. Let's say, what's my homework? And it will change that wording over here. Same for let's find your home to get started. It will change that as well. Now, again, no contact form on this one, so you could go ahead and add that. Again, that is add module. You come all the way down till we find the list of them. It is just form. And then we want to select the form. And that will add that contact form down below. All right. And once you're done with this one, again, it's just a publish and you are all set. So very minimal work on these. We're going to go back. We don't email out the recording. You can always access it on our YouTube channel though. All right, guys, the next page we're going to do is going to be a little bit different, okay? So the next one we're going to do is a local school search. Now, you're not going to find a local school search template. However, we are going to use one of the templates here to create that. So the first thing we want to do is we want to come over to our school search page. So I will drop this link in the chat for you guys. This is the one we use whenever we're creating this. Oops. Did not copy. This will be on Scott Leroy's YouTube, and I will drop that link in the chat again for you guys. All right. So you have the school search link. From here, we want to scroll down until we find the school data widget, okay? And once we're here, we can kind of edit this information here based on where we are, based on the area that you're working, whatever you'd like. So let's just change this. We'll do Boston today. We're going to just wait for it to load. It should change in just a second. Actually, I need to hit generate code. I'm sorry. It feels like Monday all over. So put your city and state or your zip code. Once you've selected that, we do recommend going with the custom size. And for that, we generally recommend 800 by 800. And that will resize that image. You'll kind of see it change. Next, you get to choose the background color. And it says background color. It mostly means this border that you're seeing. So you can change that if you would like to. Let's say we want to go with gray today. Once you're done, we go ahead and hit generate code. Once your code updates, you should be able to see the city and the state that you've selected within your code. So that's a good way to know that it is updated. You should also see the map update in that specific area. But that is two ways to kind of just check that, okay? Now, when this map is added to your school search page, they can still search anywhere. So they could zoom out, zoom in another area. They can also view a list of those schools, and they can even search for schools. So just because you are zooming in on an area or selecting a specific zip code or something, they can still look at this anywhere they'd like, okay? Now, once we're done though, we want to generate that code, and I'm going to just copy this whole code, okay? So I'm going to highlight all of that and copy. And then we're going to go back to our dashboard. And from here, the quick start page that we want to take a look at is a custom page, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and select that one here. All right, and now what we're going to do is we can name this. Let's do Boston School Search. And I'm going to put a date on this just because when I'm trying to find this later, I want to know which one I'm looking for. And you could just do that on the internal name if you'd like so that you know. Now, the next thing we have is our description. You can add that if you'd like to or leave it. Next is that page heading. Again, if you'd like to add a photo, maybe you have a photo of Boston that you'd like to add up here, you can do that. The next thing we want to do is we want to hit the add module, okay? Now from here, this time we want to go all the way to the bottom and we want to find the HTML embed, okay? So we're going to go ahead and click that one. And then we have our page contents, but we still need to create the information that we're pulling in. So we want to hit this drop down and we want to do create new, okay? Now you can see we are in an HTML embed. So this is where we're creating a new piece of that page content. So from here, we want to go ahead and paste our URL or that code that we got. And then one little tip that we do is we do the greater than less than sign with center in between it, okay? So this little piece right here will center that on your custom page, okay? So that's just our little tip to get that centralized. And we're just going to do Boston. I'm just going to do 4.8. This is an internal name. Nobody's going to see this but me. And once I'm done, this time I'm going to hit publish because I'm just creating the content for the page, not the page itself yet. As you can see, we now have published and we're going to go back. Now we are back on our custom page. So now if I click down here to add the information that I'd like, I should see that at the very top, my new module that I've created. So if we click on that, it's going to then populate my school search right here. And again, they can interact with this map. They can do the list search. They can move around on the map, whatever they'd like, okay? Now you can, of course, as always, add that contact form again if you'd like. I will add that to our page. There we go. And we are done. We could go ahead and publish this. And publishing this would add it directly to our website under the More tab. Now, this is a custom page. Really quickly, we are going to take a look at a landing page, I believe next. So the difference between a custom page and a landing page is that a custom page will appear on your website. Okay, it will appear under that More. A landing page cannot be added to the website. So that is a standalone website. So it's just kind of up to you how you create these, but that is going to be the major difference between a custom page and a landing page. Okay. Now, once I'm done, again, I'm not going to publish this. I'm going to go ahead and go back to the KW. And the next thing we want to take a look at is a property landing page. Now, again, we're hanging out in this quick start area. As you can see, we do have a template that says property landing page. So that's the one we're going to click on this time. Now, once I do that, you'll see that we can search by an address or MLS ID. I have a property right here that we're going to go ahead and pull. So I'm just going to type my address in and wait for it to populate. As you can see, it's going to populate any of those. So we can go ahead and click the listing that is ours or the one that we're using. And once we do that, as you can see, it's pulling in the information from the MLS. So it has the photos, it has the details on the property, it has a map, and it also has the contact form, okay? It's going to say at the bottom, sourced by, so you'll see that as well. Now we can go ahead and add a title to the page. I'm just going to put the address. That will add that at the top. We can add a featured video or image, up to you. If you have a video you'd like to use, you can add that. I'm going to go ahead and do image, and we're going to, I think I had one in for this property. Here we go. Now by adding that, it's going to put it at the top here. Now we can get into our content now. So we have the details, property title. I'm going to add that again. And again, you have the ability to hide title. You can hide category. These listing landing pages also give you the ability to hide different pieces of information. So if you want to hide the price or the address, bedrooms, bathrooms, living area, you can hide any of that. So if we want to take off the price, we'll toggle that. It will remove the price from this little section over here. Give it just a second to catch up. There we go. So as you can see, it just says for sale now. It doesn't have the price. So up to you on what you'd like to hide and what you would not. We'll go ahead and close this one up. Now next we have property landing agent information. This is going to be populated here. As you can see, Scott's doesn't populate, but your information should, as well as that little contact button. Next is your carousel of images. Now again, these are pulling from the MLS, so you'll have all of those. There's really not anything you can edit in these two little areas. Next, though, you have your property map. So landing map, that's going to be this map here. Now with that map, you can remove it. So if you would like to take the map out, you can. If we want to leave that, we can also hide the boundary line. So if we wanted to remove that blue line and that area that it's displaying, we'll give it a second to catch up. We can hide that. There we go. Oops. I'm moving too fast for it. Let's try to turn this off. So as you can see, it's got that line and the shading. If we hide that, it will remove that from the map. So up to you on that piece of information if you'd like that or not. And then lastly, again, you have your contact form. Now, again, this is a listing landing page, so this will be its own link. We could go ahead and publish this one. This one will not show on our website. We already have this one, so it's not going to let me. But we could publish that and it would be its own web page. Now, if I go back, those landing pages can be found. Oops, I might have missed it. So we have custom pages and custom modules. So those are the modules you add to whichever page. Sorry, we have so many. And then we have custom landing pages. So you could come here and find your URL. You can take a look at your page, all of that good stuff. So you will have those on here as well. Take a quick look at the chat. Yes, you can use any listing. Obviously, check with your market center staff for compliance, and making sure you don't need permission from the agent, things like that. So we always recommend that. But you should be able to pull any listing. The next page we want to take a look at, you guys, is going to be creating an open house sign-in sheet. Now, for the open house sign-in sheet, that is not actually done through this expert mode. That is done directly through your KW website, okay? So if I come to the KW website for Scott or yourself, I'm going to copy this address. You're on your KW home screen. You can just type in this little browser what property you're looking for. Now I've already got this one typed. Now once I pull up this address and have all of the property details, you'll see that I have all of this information, property info, history, upcoming open houses. I have everything here, neighborhoods. If I want to make this an open house sign-in sheet, let's say I have an open house for this property this weekend, I can click right here in the browser, and I want to make sure I'm not highlighted on it, and I want to use the /open house. Oops. Now, once I type the /open house, I want to hit enter on my keyboard. And once I do that, my page is going to reload. As you can see, it's changed my URL. It now says open house in the middle. My page has also changed. I can't scroll down any further. There's no other information. So it's now just the property photos that I can go through. And it is also just the basic details on the property. They can submit their first and last name. They can put their email. I'm just going to type a random phone number. Whoops. And if I go ahead and check mark these boxes and hit submit, it is going to send that contact into the command platform. Scott will be notified of this. It's also going to give them your phone number, email, your bio. It's going to give them a QR code. They can download the app and view your property that way. So this is a great way to capture contacts and funnel them directly into command when you're doing open houses. We can go back to sign in so that the next person can sign in as well. Okay. All right, guys, we have one more custom page that I want to go over with you guys before we get to questions. So for that, we are going to head back to our expert mode. And before we get started, I'm going to just go to custom page. And then we're going to head back to our property, okay? So we want to create a neighborhood page this time. So let's say you have a specific neighborhood you'd like to highlight, you work in often, and you want that neighborhood to be displayed on your website so that they can view all of the information about that property or about that neighborhood. So I'm just going to grab this South Grove, east of Maine. We just did go to neighborhood. And from there, it's going to load us a neighborhood page that's going to give some details on that specific neighborhood, show us different properties that are for sale, the schools, etc. Okay, so lots of neighborhood information. Okay. And from here, we are going to take this URL, we're going to copy that, and we're going to go back to our new custom page, okay? And actually, I'm going to copy this neighborhood name first. We're going to make that our page title. We're going to put 48 again. Now, again, if you want to add that heading, if you want to add that photo, you can go ahead and do those items. Those are totally optional. The next thing I want to do is our page contents, though, and we want to do add module. Now, for this one, we are going to go all the way to the bottom again. But instead of the HTML embed this time, we're going to do the iframe embed, okay? And again, we've added the module. We still need to create it. So we're going to click that drop down and do create new. I'm going to put my title again. We're going to do 48. And this time we want to get that URL, okay? So we're going to go back to our neighborhood page. We're going to copy this. And then we're going to paste it this time. Okay, so we just grabbed the URL. That is taking this entire website page and adding it to our website. So the next thing we want to do is we want to just publish this. This is just the piece of content. So this is just the iframe. We're going to publish. Published. We're under iframe. We're going to go back. Now we want to pull it into our custom page. So we're going to go ahead and find that new one. Now, when I say we're pulling the entire website into our website, that is exactly what I mean. So as you can see, we are seeing the same banner repeated twice. There's currently no way to get rid of that. Again, you're pulling the entire web page into your website. So you can add that image and title to kind of break that up. You can also remove it if you just want them to be right next to each other. We'll give it a second to catch up. So as you can see, it is going to duplicate those. But once we're done, last thing we can do, I always, like I said, add that contact form. Go ahead and add that. That will add that contact form at the very bottom. Oh, there we go. Still trying to add it. Oh, there it is. I'm sorry. Again, pulling the full website, so it is much further down. So up to you if you'd like to keep this here or if you'd like to remove it. Because it's pulling in that website, there's a lot of space there. Once we are done with this though, again, publish adds it to your website, okay? It's going to be under that more section in about 30 minutes. All right, you guys. We have a little bit of time left. So that is all of the custom pages that I want to create with you guys today. I hope this was helpful. If you have any questions, drop those in the chat. We have about 15 minutes to go over any questions you guys might have. And then we can close down the Zoom. So I'm going to go ahead and stop record.